Well, we're back in the car again. At least this time, we don't have allergies. Okay. Il Barbiere di Siviglia. Ooh, I have mixed feelings about this performance. First act felt off for some reason. Like there were points where it felt like it hit, but then there was like a lot of these felt like a lot of small details were getting missed. Well, first let's start with the comedy. Comedy was on point. Loved it. Jack Swanson, I think I got that name right. He was Count Amaviva, sorry, today. I thought he did very well. Seemed very effortless at some points. Also seemed very quiet at some points. I'm wondering if that might actually be the mix. Sometimes I do complain about the mix, where like someone sounding too quiet during the live stream, and usually they'll go in afterwards, they'll fix it, they'll rebalance it. Only a couple times where it seems like someone seems a little too quiet even after the post-production. So we'll see. Hope that's the case. Hope they can fix that. So let's go with Andrey, or Figaro today. Why do you look stressed? You're singing a song about the joys of life and you're angry. Why are you angry? And then the way he acted, I don't know. I think he was going for aggressive confidence. I don't think that's a good way to play Figaro. Figaro in this should feel like everything's old hat. At least to me. He should feel like it's all old hat. Like everything he does is like, oh, I do like 10 of those every day. It's fine. I got it. I got you. I'm gonna do it better than the next guy because it's just me. It's what I do. Like that's the type of thing that I like about Figaro. The way things are going along, and it's like it should be somewhat old hat. Should be somewhat. Have you ever seen the movie Thank You for Smoking? Aaron Eckhart's character, he's a lobbyist for big tobacco, and he's very suave, very charismatic, and he's always trying to make deals with people and trying to pick up little things from people who are might be better than him at certain things. Like he's talking to this one movie producer, and he hears him talk, and he's like, I can learn things from this man. And there are points in there where, in the dialogue, where it sounds like Figaro's like that. So it should be like a mix of, so it should be a mix of old hat with Nick Naylor. That's the character in Thank You for Smoking. And I didn't get a lot of that from Andrey. Like it felt like he was trying too hard, and then not trying hard enough in some areas, if that makes sense. And then Aigul Akhmetshina, Rosina, and she was the one I was worried about going into this, even though she was the only name that I knew going into this. And I think part of the reason is you look at some of the production photos they put out for, and I don't know, it's not what she's doing. It's something about the way her face felt very, I don't know if it's fat or if it's just like the way that her genetics are makes it look flatter than I'm normally used to. And so I was just wondering, how is all that, it's like, how are the emotions gonna come through? Because it doesn't feel, it felt like she was trying, and it felt like I was going to need to get used to it. And yeah, it took some time, but I got there. I think she was probably the best performer of the big three there. And, you know, it's definitely something where she was having fun, Jack was having fun. Andrey, again, just looks stressed throughout the entire thing. Why aren't you having fun? It's Figaro. Like, the only time Figaro should be stressed is when the plan's not working. So, if you weren't able to see it today, should you go see the encore? I don't know. Because I think they've done 2 other live performances of this Bartlett production, and I think the other 2 are better. So I think if you're gonna spend $20, maybe give it to the Met directly for their on-demand, and then go watch those 2, and then other things while you're paying for that month. I mean, it's like, I very much enjoy this production. Bartlett sure does really well with his set direction and how he gets the most out of them, and just in setup and movement and all that. And then just a number of different things. It felt very influenced by Looney Tunes, which is part of the reason why this is one of my favorite versions of Barber of Seville. So I just remembered the end of the first act. Okay. So the end of the first act is chaos. Like, things happen. Everyone's got a headache. They sing about the headache. Oh, it's like an anvil is just, like someone is just beating an anvil, and this is like, my headache. And I think tempo-wise, it's probably the best I've heard from the Met in this production. Like, the first time they did it, it's probably a little too fast, but personally, I prefer it if it's going to be too fast or too slow. I'm okay with it going a little fast. I got a little better with the second time they did it. This time, I thought it was really well done. The end of the first act, the very last shot is this anvil, this giant anvil coming down and crushing a cart of pumpkins. I think they sent the anvil early. I think someone hit something and it sent the anvil early. I was looking at it and I was like, "You're early! You're early! Somebody stop the anvil!" Also, another thing that I'd say probably skip the encore for this one is it's going to need some post. Just in general, the shots they chose were kind of... most of the shots were okay, but there were some where it's just like, what are you doing? This doesn't make sense. Like, I get you're trying for something, but this one doesn't make sense. You shouldn't have gone there. So wait for post-production. And yeah, that's it. And that's actually it for the season. So what's it to start next season? It's La Sonnambula. Okay. So for these, I will see you again in October. I should have more videos coming soon. I'm still working on some stuff. Got a couple of ideas for a couple other things. Not going to say them yet until I get them worked out and scripted and stuff. But I should have some stuff over the summer, hopefully. So I will see you in the next video. Take care.